Here is a really quick overview of what we are trying to achieve. 1. Fianchetto the bishop and castle the king. 2. Prepare to push in the center. 3. Attack on the king side. We started off with knight f6. As soon as you see e4, we must reply with d6, to prevent white from going to e5. If they push, it is a mistake, as we can just take, and after they take we can exchange queens, and then jump with the knight right here and threaten to fork them on f2 and take the pawn in the middle. Even if they take back with the knight, white has no advantage.
So what if they start the game with e4?
Same principle, you start with d6 and then keep doing your moves.
So phase 1 is, get your king to safety with castling and putting the bishop on g7, and play d6 whenever you see e4.
After that, we have to develop our other knight and bishop. The bishop goes to g4, and if he gets attacked, we can just take their knight, and this helps us push e5. If however, they already played h3 stopping our bishop from going there, we can fianchetto him as well on b7. Now for the knight, after the bishop is out we can put the knight on d7, and he helps us push e5 and c5. Now, after we have e5 in, they take, we can just take back with the knight. They recapture and we recapture, and we have this nice semi-open position with a safe king, getting ready to put the rooks in the center and reply to their moves. However, they do not take but decide to push. Now we are going to be attacking on the king side, as our pawns are facing this way, and white will try to attack on the queen side, as his pawns are expanding that way. Anyway, let's recap. 1. We fianchetto the bishop and castle the king. 2. We play d6 whenever they play e4. 3. We develop the light bishop to either g4 or b7. 4. We develop the other knight to d7. 5. We push e4, if they take we trade off and we are good to go. 6. If they do not take but push, we are ready to attack on the king side while they will be attacking on the queen side. Now let's take a look at some full game examples. e4, as we said, we will right away play d6 so we can develop our knight. Okay, we are ready to castle now. This is a mistake, we talked about this. Let's capture this pawn. Now we go knight g4, threatening a fork on f2, and we are going to capture a pawn in the middle. In this position, I will choose to capture the pawn with the bishop, because if we capture with the knight, notice how his bishop is now aiming both at our knight and the bishop behind, so if we accidentally move the knight we might lose our bishop. To prevent this, let's just take with the bishop and attack his bishop, forcing a trade. So let's go to g4, from where we can fall back to f6 if needed, but also we can jump here, attacking the bishop and threatening to fork on c2. Okay, let's not go back, let's try to attack with every move. Knight e3 threatening the fork. He defends, but now we just keep developing our pieces with tempo. Bishop f5 attacking the pawn one more time. What? Again they open with e4, so we will just play d6 and continue from there. See, maybe they again play e5 and we just win the game from the start. Okay, this guy is smarter, let's keep going with our setup. Bishop is under attack, so as we said we will just trade him for this knight. Okay, now they go e5, let's analyze what this does. First, we are attacking this square 2 times, with the pawn and the knight, so if we take, we will win this pawn. But, also he opens up the diagonal, and is attacking our b7 pawn, so he will be able to win back a pawn. Now, should we do this? Yes, because, we are giving up a side pawn for a center pawn, and also we are opening up the center while he still hasn't castled, so he will be in danger. Now I will push this pawn up to disconnect his queen and bishop. If he decides to take with the bishop, as it looks like it's a free pawn, I have an in-between move, rook b8, attacking the queen. Now she has to go to a6 to keep defending the bishop, but after rook b6, wherever she goes, the bishop is dead. Okay, he doesn't do it but develops the bishop. This is good for him, but now I will attack the bishop and threaten to ruin his pawns in front of the king. Wow, he takes it right now, but he should be losing, as I will open up his king now. Attacking his queen now and giving up one more pawn. Doesn't matter, as I can also just take his b2 pawn, but even more important is the activity I'm getting. Okay, just like I said, I can take his b2 pawn, but I'm not even going to take his b2 pawn. Let's go here and do a double attack, attacking the bishop and the g3 pawn. Check. 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 Okay, now his queen and king are lined up. Bye bye woman. Fuck, I resign. Easy game. For all of you that want to see how he gets checkmated, if he goes a4, rook a8 check, he blocks with the bishop and rook takes, which checkmate. And if he goes king a5, again rook a8 check, king b6, knight d7 check, king b7, knight c5 check, king b6, rook a6 checkmate, as the bishop is pinned by the queen. Remember these key concepts. 1. Whenever they play e4, you play d6. 2. Set up bishop fianchetto and knight on f6, with king castled. 3. Light bishop on g4 or b7. 4. Other knight on d7. 5. Pushing e4. A. If they take, recapture and you have a great open position. B. If they do not take but close the center, get ready to attack on king side with f5, you can put your knight on h5 to make space for the pawn push.